guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and today we're going to be going through my yarn stash. Now, this video is going to be in two different locations because right now, obviously, if you've never watched me, but we're in my room in Texas right now, but I go back to New York tomorrow. We're going to be living in New York over the summer because my sister and I go to school there and we have a lease starting in June. So going back to New York tomorrow, I'm taking a bunch of this yarn with me and I have some there. So I'm going to show you what I have here in Texas, and then when I'm in New York, I'll show you what I have there. And then also in this video, I'm going to go through kind of like my plans for all of this yarn, why I'm ditching my destash goals really, as well as kind of being off a yarn ban but still being mindful of the yarn I'm buying. And yeah, and also not too much, but I will be also slightly talking about what yarn I'm leaving here and why. So some of this is stuff that I bought while being home this past week. Most of it from Joann's, one yarn from Hobby Lobby, but I'll go through the Joann stuff quickly. I have 4 of these Big Twist Living to finish a blanket that I started this past semester, and then I have 14 of these K&C Essential Cottons in the color Rainforest. I bought 10, but now I have in total 13 of this brown. It's the color Sequoia, the same K&C cotton. I have 3 in the color Gulf Side. And I think that's all the yarn that I got at Joann's a couple days ago. And then I was thinking about a project I want to make, and I had to go to Hobby Lobby to get another cotton because my location didn't have any more of the white K&C. So I just got 4 of the I Love This Cotton in the color white. So that's also what I have. I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as possible. This is a bag of mixed different bamboo yarn. So all of these like cakes are pattern silk, and then this one, and where's the blue one? This blue one are Southwest Trading Bamboo. I think I got this all at this place called Spare Parts San Antonio, which is like a creative reuse craft thrift store kind of thing. Okay, I did not realize my phone battery is super low, so I'm gonna have to hopefully get this filmed and then come back with some other explaining stuff, but I really just need to get the yarn that I have here filmed. This bag is full of 100% superwash. Well, no, I think one of these, no. These are all 100% superwash fingering weight wool. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I have 9 different skeins in here. 2 of them are caked up. This is going to be for a granny stitch sweater vibe. I'll insert a picture of the inspiration. Oh my gosh, why is it so hard for me to speak right now? But yeah, that's what this is. And then I have this bag of 100% cotton as well, but this is the Lily Sugar and Cream, and this is a big Peaches and Cream from Walmart. I just want to make a tote bag out of this sometime this summer, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. And then also, this is all in a box because I was moving stuff around yesterday and it ended up just getting thrown in here. I only have 1 here in Texas, but I have 2 more in New York. This West Yorkshire Spinner Signature 4-ply in the color Evergreen. This one I got at a yarn store just this past weekend, but my sister was abroad this past semester and she got me 2 of them in Scotland. So that's what the other 2 I have in New York are. And then I have 4 of these Line Brand Soft and Simple. I got these at clearance at Joann's last year, but I have 4 of them. And then I have 2 more in New York, but I have 2 here of the Line Brand Kobu in, whoa, olive. Alright, and then I have 2 of these Biche and Bouche's Petite Lamb's Wool in this color dark orange gray. And then I have 2 in the navy color, soft blue black. So these are also 100% wool. I got these in Austin last summer. Haven't used them, unfortunately. I have 3 of the Queensland Collection Recycled Tweed. I got these on Catalina Island off the west coast last summer, which was very fun. Okay, the rest of my yarn is in different spots around my room, and I'm too lazy to bring it to my bed just to film, so you're gonna get this kind of handheld version of filming right now. But I have 4 of these Lion Brand Jiffy, and I will make a blanket with these at some point. And then this basket here is kind of a mess, but I have, I'll try to show quickly, this yarn bee. This is from Hobby Lobby. I don't even remember why I bought this. I have singular ball of Patton's Cory sock left over. This Echoes Gusto wool I got in Seal Beach also last summer. And then these are just some assorted mini skeins I've collected. This is my remaining scale of the We Are Knitters the cotton. Whoa, sorry. We Are Knitters the cotton. I ordered this for a project, and then this is what I had left over. And then this is Kaleidoscope Banana Fibers from Darn Good Yarn. Single skein I got at Creative Reuse. That's all I have. I have no idea what I'll make with it. It's almost just like a souvenir at this point. Okay, this next one, this is a bag, and you'll have to forgive me because I really don't feel like going through right now. So I'll put a total number, like, of the balls of yarn that I have here. But this bag is like my assorted yarn. It's all yarn that I couldn't get myself to get rid of, but I also have no idea what I will use any of it for. They're really small amounts or really weird yarns. And this is my bag of, like, I don't have to think about it, because if I do, I'll get rid of it or it'll just stress me out. So this is gonna be counted in my stash, but I can't think about it. I have 5 balls. Let me actually just, yeah. I have 5 balls here of this chunky yarn. I'm going to destash all of this, actually. I have some still in New York that I have a project for, but I have no use for these really, and someone else probably could use them better. And then over here, I have a huge, like, Bernat cake. It's, oh wow, I have a lot of, sorry. It's just pink. There's nothing really crazy about it. These are my Bernat scraps, and then this is all what I have left of, like, traditional blanket yarn. Now, out of high school and then into my first 2 years of college, I was doing a lot of markets and selling a lot of stuff, and therefore I built up this kind of stash of Bernat blanket, as well as also those boxes of acrylic. And even though I'm not using them right now, they're all good yarns, and I would love to get back to doing markets here when I'm living here again, or even in New York, I guess. But it would be such a pain to ship all this to New York. I really don't think that's a possibility. It'll be when I, whoa, excuse me, am done with school that's probably gonna happen. But again, there's no point in me destashing them right now, at least, because I think I will use it in the future. But for now, these are just gonna sit here, not worrying about destashing them, but I'm also not counting them in my yarn stash, so do with that what you will. The last kind of fun yarn I have here is this. It's the discontinued Lion Brand Little Bit of Everything. As you can see, it has all of those things in it. I have 4 balls. I want to make a vest for fall, probably. But yeah. There is definitely more to go over when it comes to seeing what yarn is going to go to New York with me, seeing what products I want to plan, what I'm leaving here, what I might get shipped, all that kind of stuff. But my phone is gonna die, so I'm gonna charge this up, kind of figure out my life a little bit, maybe start making my, because I want to make a, like, chart online of all of my yarn, what I want to use it for, how much I have. So I might start working on that, but I do have a lot of other stuff to do right now. But yeah, that is pretty much all the yarn I have here in Texas. There's actually some right here, but that's for, you'll see in probably New York. I'll go over those projects because those yarns are attached to something, so won't worry about that. But yeah, that is all the yarn I have here in Texas. If I don't show anything else here, I will see you in New York. Actually, just so you have a better idea, these boxes are all full of wait for acrylic yarn. They're color coded, so this is pinks, reds, oranges. This is yellow and green. This is blue, purple, and like the multicolored ones. And this is gray, black, white, and like tans. Again, I would say like 80% of that yarn I got at the thrift store I don't know who died. It's honestly kind of sad, but my mom used to work at the thrift store, and she called me one day while I was at school, and she's like, someone donated tons of yarn. Do you want me to put it aside, hide it for you? Basically, so I got out of school, and she did. And I went and bought it all because, again, I was doing stuff for markets, and it's also just good yarn. I have nothing against acrylic. I will be taking some with me to New York, right, like now, so I just have to figure out what my projects are gonna be. But yeah, that's like my prized possessions are those boxes of yarn, along with all my other yarn. Okay guys, so as you can see, we are in New York. You might not know that because no one's seen this room yet, but this is my new room, and I'm right next to my yarn shelf. So I've got pretty much all of the yarn onto the shelf. Luckily the shelf came with the apartment, which is really great. I think my phone's slightly crooked, but so I was able to put it right on here. I did get this at Goodwill for $4 yesterday, so that's really exciting. I don't think I'm going to put yarn on this though. I have a lot of other stuff that needs a place to live. So I'm going to finish going through my yarn because I did have a bunch of yarn here that I wasn't able to show y'all. So kind of just going to go down the shelf. It's a little bit of a mess, but we'll figure it out. So I didn't show you because I just finished a project with it, but I have a couple of balls of this Friends cotton silk print, and I believe the print got discontinued, but the cotton silk is still very much available, which I will almost for sure be purchasing again at some point because I really did love working with that yarn. I have 4 of these Queensland Collection coastal cotton Ocean Mist, the pure soft cotton. I made a top with this just like a month ago. Really love it. And then I have more K&C cotton, and that's what I bought a bunch in San Antonio, but I had some here. So I have the color White Sands and the color Canyon here. So I got both of these a month or 2 ago when I was able to get to a Joann's here in New York. The second shelf, like I said, I had 2 of them here, but I have this West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply. This is the other yarn that my sister got me in Scotland, and it is Hebridean / mohair yarn. That's all it really says on there. Oh, it's from the store. So the store that my sister went to was called Kathy's Knits, and it looks like it's their yarn, like their little logo is on it. So this yarn, it says woolen spun, made in the UK. The color is just green, and it's 50% mohair, 50% wool, and it's a 4-ply yarn, and I believe it's a fingering weight. I would say that's like fingering weight, but I have 3 of these little guys, and then I have 4 of the Loops and Threads Luxe Merino Wool Blend, which is a merino acrylic. 55% merino and 45% acrylic. I have 4 of these. Not enough to make a sweater, I think, but I can easily get more at Michael's for that from there. What am I saying? And then I have this cake. This is a little less than 100 grams of yarn. This was from Cece's Wool. I had 2 skeins of it before I made some socks. So yeah, this is just kind of like my leftovers. Next up, I'm trying to think what I didn't show in Texas. Okay, so I have these couple skeins. So this one is from Sorella, and this was their, I don't even remember what she called it, but it was like a limited, like random holiday thing, and this is 'Tis the Damn Season, based off a Taylor Swift song, and I thought it was just the prettiest yarn ever. I did accidentally buy classic sock instead of nylon sock, so that's really annoying, but it is a really pretty skein. I have no idea what I'm gonna make with it. I don't really want to make socks with it just because it is so pretty. But I don't know what I'm gonna make, so maybe some kind of head accessory. I'm not really one for short scarves, but we'll have to see. I could always use it with something else, I guess, if I get like a cream color and maybe use it that way. But she released this right after I finished my last final last semester. Not last semester, I guess that would be spring. Last fall, like in December, I finished my last final, and so I got this as like a reward but you know, whatever. And then these two I actually got in Texas. I believe last summer there was a pop-up at a yarn store near me, so I got these two. And these are both made, or I should say dyed, in Texas. This one is from Bad Frog Yarn Co. and this is from Chaos Fiber Co. And this is 100% superwash, and this I believe has nylon in it. Yeah, so this is 75 superwash, 25 nylon. So I have these two. And then also from a shop in Texas last summer, I got these Red Stag fiber yarns, and these are DK weight. Again, no idea what I'm gonna make with any of these. Well, actually, that's a lie. I was gonna make socks out of the pink ones. I still might. I just don't know. I'm not really decisive on any of them right now. So there's that. I have this ball of Patton's wool worsted in the color navy. Got this on clearance at Joann's actually a while ago, not even like closing clearance, just regular clearance. And then I have these two balls of mohair from Temu that I'm actually going to make a beanie out of at some point, so that's really exciting. And then I have 5 balls of this Noro yarn, and this was very expensive, and I bought it and then regretted it and then debated selling it, and now I'm back to not so much. I don't regret it, but I do have a very specific idea that I'm like hoping works out, because I am very just nervous about this yarn. So this is going to take a lot for me to get to working, but I'm less apprehensive and upset about it than I was a little bit ago. It was a big purchase. It's scary, but yeah. Last yarns that I can show you before I get into my acrylic shelf are this bag. So these are some mixed chunky weight yarns. There's some woolies, there's some other Lion brand yarns, but I'm gonna make a kind of pillow with these, but they don't fit on the shelf. So these are these yarns. Not much to say there. And then in this tote bag is a cardigan that I'm working on, but I have a couple balls of the superwash, 100% superwash merino from Lion brand. I literally just have sleeves on the cardigan left, and I haven't been able to sit down and focus on it. Other yarns. I'm pretty sure I talked about this white yarn I got for my blanket, which I have started working on. I have all my blanket yarn in this basket. So I'm using Lion brand Heartland this year for my temperature blanket. I really love how it's working up so far. Like, this is January square. So that's really fun, but I just have this in a basket on top of my shelf because I like the way it looks and I like it all together. You'll have to forgive me because I'm sitting right in front of the shelf, so I'm not showing very much, but this is all the yarn that, this is, what am I saying? This is like my cotton plant-based shelf. So this is cotton, back there is cotton. These are actually bamboo silk blends. Let's see, I don't remember what is what in here. 70% bamboo, 30% silk are all of these. These are 100% bamboo. That's one of the silk ones. This is the hobby cotton silk, and then all of that is cotton in the back, and then this is the kobu, which is cotton and bamboo, and then this is like my wool shelf / wool blends, because most of this is 100% wool or like superwash wool, with the exception of these right here. This is with acrylic, and this is a few different things. This is the Queensland recycled tweed, and this has 40% wool, recycled wool, 40% recycled polyester, and 20% recycled acrylic. Yeah, and then down here is my acrylic shelf, and I just have an array of different acrylics. Some of them I brought from home last August, some of them I bought here, some of them, like these 3, I just brought from home last week when we came in. So I have to like buy these for different projects I was working on, different random things, but that's kind of what the shelf looks like so far. And then up here, I don't think I've gone over this yet, but this is like my Notion. So I have all my hooks in here, and then I have all my buttons, and then I might change this, but I have more buttons, safety eyes, and these snaps. I might put the snaps in this drawer because this is just like my other tools and stuff. And then I have patterns and books and my plant. The plant is definitely going to go on this shelf once this shelf is over here. So this is not all crochet stuff. That's all my crochet like clothing items. But this box is all just like room stuff. So I need to figure out a place for all this to put the shelf and switch things up. Okay, I'm now going to get to organizing all this and try to figure this out. I probably won't come back to this video until a bit later, but I do still want to go over my new plans and kind of what I'm not destashing anymore, kind of why, I guess, which is not anything crazy, but I just kind of want to think out loud, but also my plans because I am really excited about those. Hey guys, so it's June 2nd. I think it's been like a week and a half since I filmed that last clip, but I'm back. I'm also, yes, wearing a bathing suit because I'm going to hang out with my friends in a bit, but I realized that I forgot about this video. So we're back. And also the last clip you saw, yeah, it looks different already. So we're gonna, guys, you can see it from here. We're gonna go over there. Also, I decorated my room a lot more since I think I filmed last, so that's fun, but we're gonna go to the yarn corner, basically. So I changed it up a little bit, and you'll have to ignore my squeaky floors. But the yarn shelf itself is the same. I have all my acrylic, wool blends, plant fibers, I guess. That's the easiest way to describe it. And then on top, I changed it up a little bit. The poor little bunny. Just got some pictures. I got this at the thrift store, and then I just put a crystal in it. And then my little jelly cat my sister got me, and my little llama, alpaca? No, that's a llama. I don't remember. Got that in Seal Beach last summer. I don't remember. And then my temperature blanket basket that this is May's Square. I ran out of this green yarn, so I have to get to a Michael's to get some more, or I'll order it online. And then it's kind of like not the prettiest, but I have my tripod. I call that like my podcast basket because anything I finished or bought like throughout the month I throw in there so I don't forget about it. And then I have my yarn Swift, my blocking mats, and more yarn that just didn't fit on the shelf. On top of the shelf, on top of this dresser I should say, I have my yarn winder, my plant, because that's my only window. And then this is like my kind of just crochet notebook, my project journal notebook, scrapbook that I have not touched in so long, but it used to be that each page project had a page. I'm just really behind on it now, which is unfortunate. And then all the printed patterns that I have, because I need a folder or something for them, but then I have my little calico critter that I crocheted clothes for, and I do have a video for this, just a short one. Did that last semester on a whim. The buttons for my cardigan, because I don't know why they're there, but I've just left them there. Little scraps of yarn, don't ask. I need like a jar or something. And then I have this organizer that was in the apartment when we got here, so I claimed it. But I have my crochet hooks, buttons. Oh my god, and I'm messing things up now. But buttons, and then like my compression gloves and my wrist brace, and just random stuff mostly. And then this next shelf I have, this is a tapestry tote bag that I made for my sister a while ago, but I'm gonna take it apart and make it more just like a hanging tapestry. And then these are my temperature blanket squares, January through April. Literally a pair of scissors, wool wash. This bag has a bunch of other little project bags, my scale, the box for my yarn winder, and then random scrap things. And then under here I put all of my crochet clothes, which I'm obsessed with, except for my most recent, actually that's a lie, my most recent finished sweater and my brown sweater that I wore last week are not in here, but they will go in here, and then I'll basically be out of space, so I gotta work on that. But for now, I kind of love this setup. And then just on the side, I have my steamer in the corner, and then I put this tapestry. I got this in San Diego, I want to say, a couple years ago. And then this is like my whip cart. I have the yarn for my cardigan that I'm working on, up here because that's like my most important whip right now. I have my sweater whip that I don't really have much going on with, and then this bag whip. I kind of have a blue and white theme going unintentionally, but that's what's going on. So that's kind of what we got going on in the new setup, and I did already film this once. Close the window because for whatever reason people love to drive like so loudly around here. Guys, we're in a neighborhood, like chill out. But anyways, I filmed this last time and it was a really loud, a lot of loud stuff going on. I think I filmed it before I had coffee and I was like so dead and it was horrible. So we're back trying to finish out this video and kind of talk about where my head's been at in the crochet destash yarn world recently. So I started my destash like journey project at the beginning of 2024 and I did not actually stop buying yarn until like July, which is objectively crazy. Like, I was really bad at it, basically is what I'm trying to say. And I was actively using a lot of yarn in my stash and making projects with the yarn I had. But then I also every month, would buy at least a little bit of yarn. It didn't help that I worked at Joann's and I went on a couple trips. But still, I wasn't doing the no-buy part of the destash like I originally intended to. So just overall, I was really bad at it. And then I stopped buying yarn for a while and I was going through it like towards the end of the year. And then this year started and I was like, okay, I still have a lot of the yarn that I was trying to work through last year plus new stuff. So then I was like, okay, well, obviously for 2025, I have to just keep going. But then I kind of realized that it was causing me more stress than it was like a fun project. I was like stressed out and feeling guilty about not using yarn, which is crazy. So then I was like, okay, maybe I don't vibe with this as much. Also, I feel like, but actually like what my life looked like at the end of 2023 going into the new year versus like now, very, very different. I was in Texas at a different school, way different schedule, at a different job, different income, different bills. Like it was just, the entire situation has changed, which is like, it's a good thing. I like being here. I like my life right now, but it's so different. Like for whatever reason, everything's changed, but like my expectations of my crafting and my buying and my yarn has not changed. And so I needed to kind of update that. But mostly like, yeah, I was bad at it. And the way that I was project planning was specifically to get rid of the yarn that I had in a year. So it was jam-packed. It was projects that I wasn't entirely set on making. Like I didn't like love them, but they worked with the yarn that I had. So I was like, well, I've got to make that. That's what works with the yarn, blah, blah, blah. So it was very just like, I had all these ideas, but I wasn't even fully into a lot of them because I was thinking more like, how can I go through my yarn? Not, is this what I want to be making? And can I use this yarn for it? If that makes sense. And then also, I just don't want to be going through all my yarn that quickly. So I feel like this kind of goes back to like my situation has changed a lot, where when I first realized that I had a lot of yarn, I was working at Joann, RIP, but it was a craft store. I had an employee discount and I had way more income and disposable income than I do now. So all those things together meant I was buying yarn a lot faster than I was going through it. And now I don't work at a craft store, have less disposable income and less time to crochet. So there's no real reason for me to put limits on my yarn buying or like expectations for using up yarn that I have, because it's just not as big as a problem, I feel like. So I'm not going to. I'm simply not going to. That's what's going to happen is I have the yarn that I have. I'm actually really happy with the yarn that I have. I have even more yarn back in Texas that will eventually get shipped to me. But even just what I have here now, obsessed. I'm like looking at it right here. Yeah, I'm obsessed. Like I'm excited about the projects I want to make. And yeah, I feel like there was more I wanted to say, but I literally don't remember, and I deleted all the footage of what I was saying because I was just kind of boring in that footage. So I'm teetering with the idea of doing a Q&A at some point on here, just because I never have. And also I reached 1,500 subscribers, which is like, side note, crazy. Hey guys, hey, crazy, love you. But I feel like I've never like formally answered questions. I also don't know if anyone has questions. So that's a whole different thing. But we'll toy with that idea. But I do still want to get into my plans kind of rapid fire because I just think I was talking too long in the last time I tried to film this, and I also am going to get picked up soon, so need to finish filming this. The camera angle slightly. I'm not obsessed with the last ones, but I'm not filming this for a third time, so we're back. But I have my, if I can find it, I have my plans, and I'll make a spreadsheet. I'll make an inspirational little collage at some point probably. But for now, it's just written in my notebook because this was like the most, sometimes I'm like, if I want to put something digitally together, it like causes so much stress and like creative energy that I just did not have when I was organizing my yarn and thinking this through. So it's just notes right now. Eventually I might do something cute with a canvas something, but I really don't. I'm not worried about it. But for June, I want to finish my blue cardigan. This is what she looks like right now. I literally was working on it this morning, so I'll show you. Oh my god, why does it look like that? Craziness. So I'm about halfway through the first sleeve, and then I have the second sleeve, and I'll be done. Whoa. It looks so small right now, but I'm banking on it stretching out a lot and blocking. Oh, I got picked for a pattern test for a tank top, so that's really exciting, and I'm pretty sure I have yarn for it. I'm like staring at what I think I'm gonna use. I'm hoping that that works for it. I just have not started the gauge watch or anything, but I got picked for a pattern test, so I have 8 weeks till I think it's like the end of July to crochet a tank top. I'm gonna make a whole video about it, but that is like the #1 priority, I guess, and I'll probably get started on that this weekend. It is Tuesday as I'm filming this, and I really want to finish the cardigan. So if I can finish the cardigan by Friday, I can start the pattern test this weekend. That's the plan, now that I said it out loud. I'm making a cotton bag, as you saw in the whip cart. I work on that really at work, but it will probably get done in the month of June. And then I have poncho for my sister, but I also just showed her this like top cover-up situation that she really liked, so making some kind of meshy thing for my sister is in the cards for June. And then for July, I want to finish the sweater that is in this cart. I want to say that I can also finish that. I can also do that in June, but like I just don't know what the summer vibe is for my projects right now. These past 2 weeks, I've been very, very tired and not doing a lot of crocheting. I'm hoping that I snap out of that, but if that's the case, then the cart whip will probably be a July thing. Oh, it says tweed vest. I cannot read. I have this yarn. Queen's End Collection Recycled Tweed. I have 3 balls of this, and I want to make like a gappy vest just to go over like tank tops and stuff. I think it'll be a good layering piece, not only for summer, but like going into fall if I wear like a t-shirt or a long sleeve under the vest. Just again, a layering piece. So I want to make that in July. I also want to make a tank top with, I'm not going to grab it, but I'll maybe insert pictures of the bamboo yarn that I have that I want to make this certain type of tank top with. Obsessed. And then a pillow. I have that yarn that was in the Ziploc bag. I want to make a moss stitch pillow with that yarn. For August, I literally just wrote some kind of top. I was not in the mega planning mood. And I'm trying to keep a bit more of a chill vibe when it comes to planning, so that's all we're going to get for now. But I have a lot of like, aside from the tank top I just said, I have a couple other amounts of yarn that could easily become summery tops that I really want to get around to. And then I literally wrote another pillow or blanket. I also promised my sister a blanket, and I would love to get that done like before fall time, because then I feel like I want to make myself a blanket. But then also that might become like tapestry project, because this huge blank wall I want to cover with a huge tapestry, and I don't know if I'm going to do that yet or if I'm going to do smaller ones. I have an idea, but I don't know if it's too ambitious for me yet. So working on that. There will be updates you'll know if I end up doing it. But I think instead of another pillow or blanket for myself, I'm just going to say room decor and leave it at that. And then I want to make Syracuse colored socks. So our colors are navy blue and orange. And I have this wool yarn I got in Austin last summer. Yeah, that was last summer. So I got this from a local, what is it called? I think it was called Country Weavers. It's like a little outside Austin, I think. And I got these 2 wool yarns and I want to make striped socks. I have 2 of each of these because they're only 50 grams. I can't read. Where does it say? Yeah, these are each 50 grams. And I've been using just over 100 grams of yarn for socks recently. So I was very smart to grab double the amount that I thought I would need because I'm going to end up using it. So yeah. Actually, well, I'll end up tapping into the second ones, I should say. So I want to do that. I want to make a one of those African flower granny square. They're not really squares. I think they're like hexagons or pentagons. The African flower ones where you make animals. I want to make the triceratops so badly. I love triceratops. If you've seen that little necklace I wear, I love them. They're my favorite dinosaur. And I've just been wanting to make one forever, and I feel like this summer is the time to do it. And then I have another, I'll try to find the picture from Pinterest, but this top has been on my mind for years, and I need to make it. So that's also on my August plan. I feel like I'm like talking in circles. I apologize. I don't know. The caffeine is running through me finally. Who knows? But for September, I have wool granny square sweater. Now I have none of the yarn here, so that's exciting. But I will insert pictures of the yarn that I'm going to use and the inspiration picture of the sweater I want to make. And that's basically the vibe. When I first started going to small yarn shops, I would buy like 1 or 2 skeins of fingering weight wool yarn because I knew that it was good yarn. I just didn't know. I was like, oh, well, I'll make something with it. But it's very hard to crochet anything with 1 or 2 skeins of wool yarn. So I'm putting them all together into a sweater. And I will hopefully, but most likely have leftovers. And whatever I do with those leftovers, that's a different worry. But for now, I just have been collecting. After I realized that I can't do anything with the quantities that I had, I was like, well, I'll put them together. And so then recently, if I get 1 or 2 of something, I just make sure they're the same type so that they're all going to go in the sweater. Someone either in this house or next door is playing very loud music, and I don't know if you can hear it. I apologize if you can, but we'll get past this. Red Vest is also in September, also another yarn that I don't have with me. I have been going back and forth over whether or not I actually want this vest, and I think I do. I just feel like I'm going to be unsure of it until I start making it, and I've just kind of accepted that. I will show the yarn that I am planning on using, and I will show kind of an inspo pic. But then also I have, if you saw that like blue icy vest that I made, it's kind of going to be that, but just like slightly more fitted, I think. Really basic. And then also for September, I literally put textured sweater ? So I have a sweater's quantity of the K&C cotton in brown and a sweater pattern that I've been meaning to make for a long time because someone gifted it to me, and I have not made it yet, and I think I want to make it with that brown yarn. And I also don't know if I want to wait until September, but I don't know what my summer is going to look like. So eventually I will make that sweater, but I have been thinking about it so hard since I was gifted that pattern. I feel really bad. And then I also put poncho because my sister and I were talking and how she kind of wanted like a Gabby poncho, and then I was like looking at Pinterest and I was like, that's kind of cute. Like I was against ponchos for a really long time, but then I feel like if I wore it with the right thing, it would be really cute. And I've also seen there's this really popular creator that has crocheted a poncho and a skirt now, and I'm obsessed with both of them. And so I'm kind of like stealing her style a little bit because I love her style. I just don't have a lot of the pieces that she does, but I can crochet a poncho and mimic her outfits that way. So love her. I will put pictures and her Instagram because if you already don't know her, but she's amazing. And then going into the last part of the year, there's not a lot to talk about. So for October, I have 3 things written down. I have start Noro jacket because I have this Noro yarn that I bought 2 falls ago in 2023. And I spent a lot of money on it at a local yarn store to here actually. I like wool sometimes. And this one is soft, but it's not the softest. and therefore it needed to be an outer layer, and also it's 100% wool, so it needed to be an outer layer. So I'm gonna make like a button-up jacket kind of vibe. I have 5 of these. It better be enough, quite frankly, because I'm never gonna get more of it probably. So yeah, want to start that in October. And then I have cotton scrap wearables. I don't have cotton scraps yet. This is just me thinking that by October I might have a lot of cotton scraps because I have so much cotton yarn right now and I want to use it. So if I have cotton scraps, then I will work on that in October. I'm thinking a sweater or a top of some kind. There's so much inspiration on Pinterest for scrap projects. I'm not really worried about it. And then again, I wrote poncho because if I don't get to it in September, maybe in October I will. Like a fall vibe. I'm looking forward to that. Like the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, yes, a poncho for fall. Like I need that. We'll see. And then for November, I have Start My Line Brand Jiffy Blanket. I was going to make a sweater out of it, and it just wasn't the right gauge and yarn for the sweater. So I want to make a blanket out of it because they're really huge balls, and I have 4 of them. So I'm going to make a blanket of some kind for my beautiful room that really needs more decorations. I hate blank walls, so this behind me is kind of killing me, so I'm sorry. And then I also have wool scrap project because like I said, between the granny square sweater, a couple other random things, socks, like I feel like I'll have wool scraps by then, and then maybe I'll make something. Please don't ask me what. I literally do not know. And then for December, I literally just wrote finished temperature blanket. Is really all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I know I mentioned it earlier, but we did reach 1,500 subscribers on here, which is a big deal to me. I'm literally just one person, so the fact that I reached like over 1,000 even is crazy to me. With that, I will say, and I kind of feel weird talking about it, but I feel like it's a good thing, so I want to. But I got approved for having my channel monetized, which doesn't really change much. It's not going to change how I post or anything. I already post long videos, so it's not like I'm like trying to do something different. But basically just by watching videos, I get like the tiniest bit. Now, I'm not a YouTube expert, and that's kind of just what I've understood it to be, is like the ads from the videos, whatever. But that means that just you guys watching is supporting me, and that means a lot. And the fact that I'm able to do that now is very cool. So definitely excited for this summer and what this summer kind of brings and what we're doing on here. I have a lot of videos that I want to make. I have a lot of projects that I want to make. It's just finding the time really now, which I'm working on because I do have time. It's just, you know, work-life balance kind of thing. So I am really excited about that, and I'm really thankful for everyone who watches. It's doing a lot, so thank you. But that's all I have for today. If you want other ways to support me, there are links down below. You can like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow my Instagram. That's where I post a lot more frequently, just day-to-day updates, pictures, story posts, opinions, polls, all those kinds of things. Those generally take place on my Instagram if you want to follow along. But yeah, I will see you next Sunday. I am trying to post Sunday, 11 a.m. It's been working for the most part, but that's going to be where I am all summer. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you if you've been here for a while. Thank you for being here. It's meant a lot, and yeah, it just means I get to get a little bit back from something that I really enjoy and that you guys get to see. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!